This will be a video demonstrating 2E refractive error, that's farsighted with astigmatism refractive error, performing an initial T thermometer reading to both define your astigmatism refractive error S2B and also to align your phone along your astigmatism axis to acquire a reading of your astigmatism axis in degrees. Initially, on the first step of the reading, you'll notice our first step is to always find a thermometer in the middle where a central white space is persisting after several quick pull-in releases. You'll notice on the one narrower to it that even though we can bring out the central white space, it's disappearing after the release, demonstrating that it's still a non-central white space segment. Now at this point, we're going to initially start by rotating the phone slightly 10 to 15 degrees in one direction and noticing that the central white space is thinning in this direction as the blurs widen or or increase. And then when moving this direction, actually the central white space appears to be widening or getting brighter. We're going to continue moving the phone in the direction that the central white space appears to be getting brighter. And we're just going to be gradually making very small incremental movements, noting if the central white space is getting brighter after each movement, until we move beyond our spherical axis, where all of a sudden it starts to dull. The red and blue blurs appear to be increasing, and the central white space appears to be getting duller. Next, we're going to move back to where it's at its brightest, which appears to be right about here. Now, if this is if we're aligned along the spherical axis, at this point, by looking at the blue line, you should notice that the blue or the upper or nasal line could be red if the phone was oriented the other direction. Should also be here as darkest at this position. So if we move a little bit here, we should notice it lightening, and a little bit there getting lighter and appearing darkest when it's exactly aligned along your spherical axis. Now you have the phone aligned along your spherical axis, but our goal is to actually align the phone along the astigmatism axis so that we can acquire an astigmatism axis in degrees. We do this by placing a ruler exactly horizontal to us, and then rotating the phone towards the vertical without moving the ruler at all until the ruler is exactly vertical, which realigns our phone 90 degrees to be along the astigmatism axis. And at this point, we can scroll down to the astigmatism axis line and determine our astigmatism axis in degrees. By again placing a ruler exactly vertical to us and through the center of the astigmatism axis, and then with the help of reading glasses, we can determine that the astigmatism axis is actually is actually 48 degrees when viewed directly. And this completes both our goals of the initial thermometer reading to both define our axis as 2B, farsighted astigmatism, and also to acquire the astigmatism axis in degrees.